Hey guys, welcome back to my builds. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my custom LEGO Pneumatic Precision Air Compressor. I will be going over this, like I said, but I will also be comparing it to just a straight up hand pump LEGO Pneumatic setup, just to tell you guys why I built this and why it is a precision air compressor. So first off here, like I said, this here is, I didn't say it's electric, but it is battery powered. And so I guess first for the sound of it, this is a LEGO battery box, LEGO XL motor, and then these are two small LEGO pneumatic pumps. And then over here is just a small detail of like a fan for like cooling or whatever, I guess. Just a fun little detail. I'm thinking about working this into like a excavator or something that would require like a hydraulic arm, or in this case, pneumatic. And so let me know in the comments if you think I should do that. So yeah, as I said, this uses two small blue pumps instead of this here build I've made. I guess build. It's a small hand pump. It requires human manual work. That's why I built this compressor. And without further ado, let's turn it on. As you can tell, it doesn't make a ton of noise, but it does travel a lot. It's kind of weird, but the vibrations that it creates, it kind of just travels. That's why if this were in a model, it would have to be well mounted so that the model doesn't start shaking around. But I guess that really wouldn't be an issue if it's an excavator. Like I was also gonna say, this does put out a good amount of air. Not a ton though, unlike this here, because this is meant for precise work. It's not meant to put out a ton of air at one time. Just to prove it for you guys, I'm going to be taking out this. This is a LEGO pneumatic air tank. And I will also be taking out this air tank later on in the video. Or no, this one later on in the video. This one right now. So I just wanted to show you guys first off that this doesn't put out a ton of pressure in large amounts. It puts it out in smaller amounts with small, I guess, charges or like small points of power. Kind of like how an engine has power strokes. This has like it has two phases where it's one phase, it puts out air, next phase there's nothing, and then there's another phase of putting out air, and then so on and so forth. So yeah, just to show you guys that this doesn't put out a ton of pressure, but it does put out precise pressure. I'm going to be showing you guys first this, hold on, this LEGO pneumatic tank I've made myself. It did take a bit of work. It's a pretty simple setup. It's just a soda bottle and then some frame and then a rubber part here just to keep it in place. And then I have it hosed here, goes around to a T on the back, and that splits it between the switch and the gauge so that you can see how much pressure is in the tank and then also control the pressure direction. So then hooking this up and then flip the switch. Now if we turn this on, looking at the gauge here, you'll see that the gauge is not visibly moving. And that is because this isn't putting out enough pressure to be read on the gauge within this given time. But if I were to sit here forever, it would eventually show up. But just for a tank of this size, this is a heavy duty storage versus a smaller storage, which I'll show you in a second. Right here. And if we hook this up here, a test I'm going to be showing you guys real quick just to show you what this compressor is actually meant for. First off, this compressor is not meant to run this engine. And if I actually do this on its own, just directly to the engine, you'll see that it does build pressure. However, when I go to turn it over, it quickly uses all of the pressure. And that's why in this kind of setup, a lot of YouTubers like to take an air tank, you put it in between the compressor and the actual device. There we go. It's kind of hard to hook up. So once it's hooked up here, you'll see that for a minute there will be a bit of lag as this air is being fed into here, and then it eventually pressurizes enough to push out here and be right on the gauge. It also does fill up a bit slower than before. And now it's moving. And now if we wait for this to go to 20 PSI, we can get the engine to turn over a bit and then it'll stop, of course. I would say this is slightly more effective, but the problem with this setup is that it quickly runs through the compressed air. So no matter what, this compressor would not have what it takes to run this engine on a given time. It would take, it's like an electric car. It would take forever to recharge, and then by the time it's recharged, it barely lasts. And I'm not saying electric cars don't last very long, but this here, if this was a module just like it, it would not last very long. So now turning this engine over, see, it does run and then it shuts off when it reaches about 10 PSI. And that is because it can't run any further. So now, just a quick comparison here, because I know you guys might be thinking, hey, why don't you just use the hand pumps? And well, the hand pumps are good for running the engine. The only problem I have is that these hand pumps are hard to keep in coordination with the engine as it takes in the air, just because as the engine is consuming air, this will kind of force air in at a different rate, and it'll kind of mess up the strokes, I guess, it takes. So yeah, as you will see, this puts in a lot more air than this compressor does, and that is because this is a larger cylinder size than the little blue ones I'm using. These together probably have one of these, you know? So there's two of these here, and if we compress this, you'll see it fills up a lot faster. I also don't want to put too much air pressure in here, because if I push on this too much, it'll pop out and all the air will leak out. So without further ado, let's turn it over. As you can see, it does run for a lot longer. However, the problem is manually, it's very hard to keep up. If you like to see this pneumatic engine in more videos, let me know. I was inspired to build some of this stuff here you see in my video a little bit by Green Gecko Workshop. He has a website and a YouTube channel. Be sure to check him out. And I was also inspired by Brick Technology, that Lego channel as well, because the guy on that channel also made some Lego pneumatic engine videos, and I kind of took inspiration. So now, past the pneumatic engine stuff here, the real reason that I made this compressor here was to actuate cylinders, to like move pneumatic cylinders instead of using the manual stuff. So first off, just to show you guys how effective it is, I'm going to hook it up to the bottom here. I'm going to pull this forward towards the camera. So now if we turn this on, you'll see with the strokes that these take, this goes up like a little bit and then a little bit and a little bit. That's the reason that I named this a precision compressor, is because it can put out a little bit with like an interval, and then a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. It'll be really helpful for like a Lego excavator. I know I keep saying that, but that'll be a really good project for this. And now when it's maxed out, put it on the top. And then, of course, trying other cylinders as well, because you'll understand that as well. This one, as you may have been able to tell, fills up a lot faster because it's a lot thinner. Like 3 times thinner. And then turn this on. Now, what's more helpful than just switching it manually is having a switch to switch it for you manually. I know this is still technically manual, but in this case, I'm using this switch here to take out the work of swapping the hose manually. So instead, the connection will simply be switched. So now we're going to hook our hoses. I'm going to disconnect this so I can bring it closer to the camera here. So there's one hose and the other. There we are. So now with these two hoses, I'm going to bring out the big cylinder for this. Honestly, just something for Lego. I wish they would make even bigger cylinders, like maybe wider or longer. That would be really awesome. I think that would help for a lot of sky-related projects like cranes and just really tall pneumatic or hydraulic projects. And you can also make some pretty cool Lego pneumatic engines as well. So I guess back to hooking this up here. You hook this one to this one, and I guess it really doesn't matter, but just for my purposes, I'm hooking it up the way I am here in this video. And now when we plug it in, I almost forgot that. That would have been embarrassing. Turn it on and nothing happens. So plug it in and turn it on. Oh yeah, I forgot to switch it. There we go. Sorry about that. And then if we flip the switch, and any point that this actuator is at, you can just flip the switch and it'll go the other way. And you can pause it. But don't hold it paused for too long, because eventually it will build enough pressure to either slow down and kind of ruin the battery box, or it will just pop right off. And neither of those things are something you'd want. But yeah, really that's all I have for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Let me know if you have any other awesome Lego ideas. I know I say this a lot, but I really appreciate when you guys let me know in the comments if you have any ideas or suggestions. And overall, I just like to be able to know that other people out there like this stuff too. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to let me know in the comments how you feel about this whole thing here. Let me know if I should integrate this into some sort of build. And yeah, be sure to subscribe as you see here, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.